4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. Before even introducing who I got on today, I just want to pray us in real quick. So let's go. Lord God, I just want to thank you so much, for this opportunity. I want to surround this podcast and this talk, even if we do talk about worldly things, around you and your love and peace and grace. Because if it weren't for you, we wouldn't even be here in these seats. We wouldn't have had the health to wake up today and go to class and go grocery shopping and drive down here an hour, hour and a half, whatever it took Lorenzo. God, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't have had this mindset and these opportunities to grow through all the hard times that we've had recently. But now, Lord, we're just going to rejoice in that and rejoice in you through this conversation, through this friendship, just bearing good fruit and just living and loving through you. God, I'm just so grateful, like I said again, for this opportunity. And I just want to think about you and praise you before, during, and after this podcast. And I just invite the Holy Spirit in to just let us speak on whatever's on our hearts and allowing us to be vulnerable with my brother Alex Lorenzo. So grateful again, and I love you, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. That's how you bring in a podcast, man.
Yes, sir. So now I'm gonna introduce my guest. I got my boy Alex, aka Lorenzo, on the pod.
Hello.
Before we get into anything, you wanna plug, you can plug anything. Plug anything?
um, Man, well, first of all, thank you for having me on here, bro. It's a pleasure. I'm excited to start talking and get it going.
Of course, dog.
I just dropped a mixtape that I put a lot of work in with my people and I. It's called The Becoming Tape. You can stream that on all platforms under Lorenzo and all capitals, The Becoming Tape. You can find me on all social media platforms at It's Really Lorenzo.
All right. I'm glad you plugged that. He makes
It's
good music, dude. I'll tell you that for sure.
my guy.
And he's a hard worker.
Thanks, Andrew.
And that's why I'm so excited just about this conversation that we're going to have. Because I feel like no matter what avenue it goes down, it can go down. I think of it literally as just like tree branches. Like me and Lorenzo could talk about anything, no matter if it's different things. He'd be making his music or me with my faith and my content, no matter what it is, and it'll just
We'll go
branch
down
into
the rabbit
something.
hole of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like that you get that fear of missing out, I feel like, because there'll be
Yeah.
something I want to say while you're talking and like you're spitting and I want to spit. And then like you'll
Yeah.
like you'll go hard right and I'm thinking about something hard left.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy. Like I want to go back to that. But everything that was said, like I said, I invited the Holy Spirit into this conversation. Everything that is said is meant to be said, and no matter what, no matter, maybe we stutter a little bit or not, maybe doesn't sound completely clear, but I know it's going to come out good. So
It's gonna be beautiful, bro.
I'm so blessed. So I kind of want to talk about, so you guys know me as Level Up with Drew, aka Andrew Bloomberg. And so I moved to my hometown of Howell, New Jersey when I was 12 years old. So I was that chubby, talkative kid. But I've never moved before. Like I was raised in the same place. I stayed most of my life. So moving here, I didn't have friends for at least a few weeks in my first year in middle school. It was rough, dude. And that's where I want to bring in my boy Alex. Bro, this is my first friend from where I moved. We stay standing until this day. And I'll tell you, the way I describe him, because I have some friends who I do catch up with and I probably do talk to on a daily basis. Sometimes there might be a few weeks, maybe even a month or two, where I don't talk to bro. But when we do talk, it's like literally nothing
Nothing
happened.
happened, bro. It was like I talked to you yesterday.
It's amazing. And that's how, friendships should go. I think life gets in the way. People do different things. Some people, I think, like, don't have the maturity. They might get offended in that way. And there's nothing wrong in them. I know they have good intentions, but both of us, we already know each other. We know everything's good. So I just want to dive a little bit into our friendship and kind of the changes about how it's gone. So I would say for the first few years of our friendship, like how would you describe that? Like what are some things that just come to mind immediately?
Man,
I just want to get a little
I had
vulnerable
I
here.
had I had some of my most pivotal moments growing up with this dude right here, man. I remember when you moved. I remember when you moved from Spotswood, and you were the new kid at middle school, but every like you moved in the 6th grade, so it was like
Mm,
you're moving to a whole new place, but going into middle school to like start your journey.
a lot different
You
than
know what
elementary.
you know what I'm saying? Um, I just remember being in class with you, and you were super friendly, like out of the ordinary friendly, which I was too to a certain extent, but you were like this new kid that nobody knew.
Yeah.
And then we just clicked it off in class with Miss Hallman in
Shout out to Miss
English.
Hallman. Shout out
Shout
to
out to
English
Miss
class.
Hallman, English class
Shout out
in
to
the
Howell
sixth
Middle School.
grade.
Middle School South, bro.
Yeah, not super pivotal though, bro. You were around for some of the hardest moments and some of the best moments growing up. Like I have crazy memories of one summer I spent $1,000 at Bubba biking there every day with this kid and just buying food. Like every single day we would go bike
And
and it
one
was
thing,
just yeah,
if
yeah,
y'all
yeah.
don't know what Bubba is, it's basically Chipotle. Some would say,
Everybody,
some would
yo,
argue better. Some
it's
people don't know Bubba. It's more underground. But continue. I just wanted
stop
to let the
playing.
audience
Don't
know
stop,
that.
bro. But yeah, no, when came out for the first time around us, we would just go there a bunch. You were always around for the holidays, bro, up to this date.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Even though obviously now that you're at school and like there's distance there from that aspect, bro, whenever you're home, it's like exactly how you said, like
It's
nothing
like nothing
happened, bro.
happened. Yeah, I always
You know what I'm
think of
saying?
that's a pivotal thing. I always think of like that's just that summer. Literally something as small as like biking to Bubba. Like someone could overlook that so much and be like, yeah, that's how I was as a kid. But I'm so glad that we have like the emotional capacity to like cherish that.
Yeah.
Because some people, like I said, they'll just overthink that we would bike to Bubba every day. I vividly remember we'd be bumping like Nav or Lil Uzi Vert
Stop it,
like
bro.
out loud on our bikes. Like we thought we were so cool. Like it's not even funny, dude.
Yo.
Going to Quick
Nav.
Check and Bubba. That was like our little middle school realm,
Arc.
dude. I
Arc.
would say towards COVID though, like things changed a little bit. I wouldn't say we distanced, but we were on our own time and like we'd play Xbox together.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I dove into basketball and then I dove into my gym journey and you started diving deeper into your music,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I want to transition to. You came from Young Prince, the Kid Dreamer.
They don't even know about that,
That's
bro.
that's why I'm introducing it to Young Prince. Don't get me wrong, it's Young
Yeah.
Prince to Kid Dreamer
Mm-hmm.
to Lorenzo.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to describe those pivotal moments for you, bro.
Mm.
Cause it's great. I seen it, but you know it more than me. You know you more than anyone.
Yeah. With young Prince, that was like the time where we were biking around the
Yeah.
Bubba. Like I made my first song with my brother in the basement. I wrote a song. I would always write when I was younger, but I wrote this one song and I was like, we definitely gotta record this, bro. And my brother was trying to get better. He was my age at the time
Mhm.
and trying to engineer and get better with his mixing and mastering and whatnot. So boom, we recorded this song called Whatever I Want, which is on my SoundCloud if you want to hear that. I was in like the 6th grade and I made that song and it was awesome. It was so awesome. But you know why the
Mm.
song that in middle school I posted that song and everybody was like, this is so dope.
Everyone was singing
But
it.
everybody was also clowning. So I was
Like,
like I was like, nah, I don't know about this music stuff. I let that get into my head. But I still always wrote. Like writing has always been a form of therapy for myself.
Hmm,
And it's
that's
funny you
amazing.
say that. Like with Young Prince to Kid Dreamer to Lorenzo, it's a total like seasons journey.
Yeah, I want you to take
Yeah.
us through that journey. Like, I want the viewer to
Mm,
come along with you on this. So,
mm. Like Young Prince, like you said, was primarily my middle school type of vibe. Just having fun with music, like becoming closer with my brother, um, creating relationships with people like my brother Justin, bro. Like me and Justin making
our
music
boy.
together. Yeah, our boy JD. Shout out JD. Um, Making music with him, writing on the side. Really just trying. I was in middle school. I was just
Mhm.
trying to understand who I hardly know who I am to this day. We never know. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So I was at such a young age just having fun with it.
it was so pivotal, though. I
Yeah.
would say you really need, even though you're like we're just like BSing this and that, like, but like, you needed that time to
Yeah.
like learn, dude. You need to be free, unleash that inner child,
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
like to
yeah.
say, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you. But then Kid Dreamer was I got you know how I got that name? I'm pretty sure I told you. You know store
Talk to
brand
me.
James?
Nah.
Remember
Oh,
James?
yeah, I remember
So
James.
one time I was in the basement with my brother and my brother's friend James at the time, and they were drinking, having a good time. I was chilling with them, blah blah blah, whatever, and they were trying to come up with other names for me. And James and my brother came up with this thing. He was, or no, James came up with the name Young Prince. James came up with the name Young Prince.
Okay.
I was in the basement at a different time. My brother was like, "Yo, what about Kid Dreamer?" And I was like, "That's cool, sure." Like I was still just having fun with it, so I was like, "All right, I'm
Mm,
gonna roll with it." And then I dropped a song called "Stew," which my brother and I made a visual for. That was really cool.
mm,
That was kind of during COVID. COVID was an interesting part of my life for sure.
yeah.
You know, as for everybody, everybody has their own story,
Oh,
including
yeah.
yourself. You know
Mm,
what I mean? But
yeah.
for me personally, it was a definitely a dark time, not being around other people, and I kind of isolated myself from even like you and like
Yeah.
my
It
friends.
was
You
a
know
good
what I
month.
mean?
We just didn't talk.
Yeah, but I wasn't like I wasn't in a mental place where it was healthy.
Hmm.
Like I wasn't in a stage where I should have been, especially at such a young age. Like I was just upset about whatever it may have been, right? And then when I what were I say?
Well, if you don't mind me asking, so like,
Yeah.
what was the moment? What was the pivotal thing that helped you, like, kind of dig out of that hole, like, get out of that?
Dig out of that hole with COVID. I
Anything
don't
specific that comes to mind, or you think as
honestly.
we started going back to school, things got normal? You think you were
I was
just
gonna say I feel like it was more of just like being in flow state, like allowing life to be whatever it was and going with the flow. Not there
that's the
wasn't a
best.
significant to a certain degree. Like for me, my personal self, excuse me, um, I definitely was flowing, but there wasn't like a significant event. But with school, when I went back to high school, my sophomore year, because that was like when I didn't go back freshman year
Mm,
because I had my grandparents in the house at the time. Um, Sophomore year, I went back to school and I met this girl and I began dating that individual. And I feel like on that journey, being in that relationship, especially because like that was more so of a time where I experienced, I believe, the most growth, being like sophomore to senior year.
hmm.
And during that relationship, um, I developed the name Lorenzo, which is literally just my last name. It's just purely me.
Nothing special to it,
Nothing. No, it
but
is
there is
just
something. It's
it's
nothing
purely
special to
me.
it, but there is something special
Yeah.
to it because that's you.
Yeah. No,
You're. I always talk about
it's
that.
purely me, bro.
You're uniquely
Yeah.
you, and that's a dope thing.
But what about with you? Like what I from middle school to COVID, like how you said on your journey,
Mm,
you locked in the gym. I remember you were really trying to hoop. You were always in the
yeah.
gym doing whatever you could to just get better, which I admired about you and I connected with you about because even when I was going through those times by myself, I always tried to strive to be better. And I appreciated seeing that with you because kids our age at the time were really trying to do that.
Yeah, bro, it was a little bit of degeneracy, but what I can talk about that is bro, it all connects so well, dude. Things that like literally don't have to do with each other can build you up. Like he was talking about, I was hooping. This was so before COVID, was not an athletic kid. I was chubby. I was on the soccer team in basketball, but I was literally like on the team, like I was the clown of the team. Like I would literally just joke around, like I was a bench warmer that would mess around, dude. Like I legit remember like just messing around on the bus on the way to soccer games, middle school. I barely knew what I was doing, bro. But that's besides the point. Through COVID, I was still struggling with my weight, you know what I mean? And then finally I started to lose it. And my favorite way of cardio was basketball.
Mm.
I was hooping so much, dude. I got so into it. Shout out to my boy George. He trained me. He got me so right. It's not even
Excuse
funny.
me.
But I had a summer where I would go to LA Fitness and shout out to my boy Luke too. Luke's doing really good for himself. Yeah, I'd go to LA Fitness with him every day. Get shots up, dribbling drills, finishing drills, plyometrics,
You even got a trainer.
weightlifting,
You even
two
got a
trainers,
yeah. Yeah.
um, pick up. Bro, my one issue, and I got good too, but the only thing is I'm 5'5", not using that as an excuse. I'm a small guard. I'm a point guard though. I was a little scrappy. I was a good playmaker. Wasn't the best shooter, but like I was pretty
He was
good.
a chihuahua on the court.
Yeah, like I was a little fast. But my issue was my confidence, dude. That's what I'll tell you. And this is where I'll tell you it transitions into everything else. Number one was my confidence is what wrecked me, dude. I got cut. So I made an AAU team that I would never think anyone I can make. Sorry. I made an AAU team that I could never think I would make. 30, 40 people tried out, 11 made the cut. I made it. But I worked for that. I can't lie, and that's
My
how I
dog.
looked at it. Then I got cut like a couple months later from my JV high school team, dude. And I was like, bro, I was literally devastated. That was the first
Remember?
time I think I've experienced some sort of mental health issue, depression, because basketball was my rock. That was the thing that I leaned on. That was my therapy, like you call music. And I didn't have that anymore. I was like, bro, I'm about to quit basketball, this and that.
Hmm.
But you know what I transitioned to? That's when I transitioned to the gym. And I got in really good shape. And this is where I go into number two, that work ethic that I gained from hours and hours of training. I put that work ethic to hitting my lifts, eating the right food, getting the right sleep.
Hmm.
And then ever since then, it transitioned to more of I fell into that self improvement trap. I added on top of that, I was taking care of my hygiene, journaling, reading. But now it's even bigger than that, dude. I was also in a relationship in high school, and I think I learned a lot about myself that I wouldn't learn without being in a relationship.
Indeed.
And even though it was hard in the moment, I was in that fog going through a breakup. When I was through that fog, I saw clear. I saw, okay, I messed up on this. I'm going to hold myself accountable and learn from it. All these different things, getting cut from the basketball team, and then getting into my self improvement trap, going through a breakup. All these things, I relied on myself, right? And it wasn't pretty getting over, dude. What I'll tell you is the difference is now with my faith in Christ. I'm an imperfect being. Instead of relying on myself, I have Jesus Christ to rely on,
Mm-hmm.
the perfect being. So I would say overall, that's what I took from it. I needed those things to turn to Christ. Like, bro, I was injured from the gym. I couldn't. I was like, I can't lean on myself no more. And yeah, that's why I'd say it's so important to go through those hard times because it's those negative times that truly are stepping stones to your success.
Hmm.
So
For
I,
sure.
I don't know about you. I don't know if you have clear examples about negative times in your life and how they've grown you. I know you talked
Yeah.
about your
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, you already know, bro. Like, I was in a relationship that I definitely really cherished. It was awesome, right? I learned a lot from that person, but I learned a lot about myself when that when it split. I feel like that was the relationship was beautiful. That was a great thing to experience, of course. But the split of it, that is arguably as beautiful or even more beautiful to see how somebody can come out of that and build. You know what I mean?
I'm
And
so
that's
glad
why,
you look at it
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
way.
no, likewise though, bro, because you like, I know it was a hard time for you as well. I was with you there, bro. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Like, but you reacted the not reacted, you yeah, you reacted the proper way, bro.
mm.
You tried to build yourself. And that's what I was like kind of trying to ask you with that last question. Like what inspired you to create like Level Up with Drew? Was it all of the negative things that you've had in your life or was it just, you know what? I'm doing really good for myself right now. I'm going to make a page for it.
So the way I explain it to overall summarize everything is level up with Drew isn't you guys watching me grow and me being super vain and that. Like, look at me, I'm going to the gym, I'm eating healthy. Level Up with Drew is a journey. It's you guys are coming along with me. I'm not the authority figure. I'm not where I want to be, and I probably never am gonna. This sounds so negative. I'm never gonna be where I want to be. There's always gonna be that next mountaintop, but there's a beauty in that, right? Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
always gonna want to grow, but also at the same time, it's not a black and white thing. I can also be content with my life and be happy with where I'm at. And all the things that I have learned, the version of me 5 years ago when he was hooping,
My bad.
super ignorant, super, I did not know a lot. The version of me in the past, I think of that version. I pick up the camera and I start talking.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's on my mind, bro, and I just speak of that. And like I said, I just want to help people and show them what's worked for me,
Mm.
and they can come along with me and try what works for them.
What's like a piece of advice you could give to somebody who is aspiring to do something like you're doing but lacks the confidence to hop on the camera and talk? Because that, I'm not gonna lie, That was a difficult thing to do.
Oh yeah,
For real. Like that is a difficult thing to do,
it
bro. To
still
be
is.
able to get yeah, I imagine, bro, to be able to just prop your phone up and talk to the camera and post it for whoever to watch. You know what I mean? It's very weird when you think about it like 20 years ago.
Mm. Oh yeah,
It's
that's probably
so
so weird if they were
strange,
to hear
bro.
that.
So strange. So what's like a piece of advice you could give?
To someone like that, I would say overall, this sounds so cliche and it's so overused to not care what other people think. Not caring what other people think, and I think what consists of that is two big things. First thing is definitely my faith. We are all imperfect beings. We're all sinners. We all do the wrong things. So why should I care what other people think? The only person that I care who thinks about me is the judgment of God. That's all I care about. All you other God, we're all imperfect. And then number 2 is just having that confidence in yourself. I talk about this so much. So many people try and hop on some sort of wave or trend and try and be someone else. But when you accept yourself and accept that you're going to have flaws, but also at the same time accept all the good things about you. For example, I'm Drew. A flaw of mine is, I would say it's a flaw. I'm very anal. I'm very type A. I have to plan out everything. That could be good, but it gets to a point where it's really bad. I would say something good about me is that I'm into my health and I take care of myself, but I've accepted myself through all that. So when I put that authentic person out there, no matter what, if someone accepts or not, I already accept myself. So it does not phase me.
Excuse
I don't care if I get a hate comment. I don't care if someone says, oh, like you're living this fake life, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I accept me. I'm Drew and I'm confident in who Drew is through my faults and through my good.
me. Being human.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Being
would say
human.
being human, but my perspective on
Yeah.
that has changed
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I would say a version of me in the past, I would like look at like my insecurities or my faults, and it would make it even worse. I'd be like anxious about it. I'd be like, no, people can't know this. I have to talk like this person. I have to dress like everyone else. Bro, I learned that my junior year of high school after the whole self improvement thing. That's what I realized what was the most important thing. Like screw the journaling in the gym, all that stuff. Bro, just be yourself and accept yourself.
Mm,
That's what I think. It's so freeing. And I think what's progressed that is like I said, my faith. That that's
mm.
what I have to say about that. But I appreciate your question, bro,
Yeah.
cuz like I said, content creation can be hard, bro, but like I just want to help and be on a journey with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Um Something else I wanted to talk about. So you introduced yourself, you talked about it. Young Prince, Kid Dreamer, Lorenzo.
Mm.
What about outside of Lorenzo? What about Alex? Who's Alex?
What about Alex? It's funny. I really think that to everybody who's viewing or looking from the outside, I'm just Lorenzo, right?
Mm,
But I feel like that that's kind of why I changed my name to that. It's my last name, bro.
mm.
I'm purely me. Like I love to work out. I go to the gym. I love holistic health. I'm super interested in all of that aspect. You know what I mean? I love fashion. I love all forms of
We can
creation.
tell you got the fit on
Yeah,
right
get out of
now.
here, bro. I'm trying to get like this guy.
Look at him.
Um, I love all forms of creation, bro. I love video. I love music. I love writing. It's all I don't know, it's all me, bro.
That's
That's a
beautiful.
question that is difficult for me to answer because it's like that's really just who I am. Like I love all the aspects of art. I love connecting with people, speak like that's why I wanted to do this with you, bro.
Mm,
Number one, you're my brother. Two, I just like to speak to people. And you have a lot to say as well. Like you've been doing a lot, bro. You've
I
been doing a
appreciate you.
lot. Yeah, you've been picking up a lot of game too, especially I see you in your faith and it's super inspiring, bro.
Mm,
You know what I mean? It's super inspiring. Like even Olivia, like you inspired Olivia to get back. Olivia is my sister. Shout out Lele. Um,
that's my other best friend.
yeah, yeah. You inspired Olivia to get back on the keyboard a little bit. She
Yeah.
saw that video. She told you that, bro. You know what I mean? Sometimes you may not find that people are coming to you and telling you these things like you made me do that, but I promise you that there's one there it will always be somebody, even if it's just
Mm,
the people that are around you. Why would somebody want to take your word and support you if you're not putting in all of the effort that you can towards your dream and your reality,
mm.
bro? You know what I mean? You're not always going to get it though coming
Yeah.
back to you. But keep doing what you're doing, bro.
What
You
I'll
know what I
tell you
mean?
about that with the feedback, I love that. That's just the cherry on top because like you said, there's people behind the scenes that like inspire that like if I have a video that comes out and inspires them. Like I had my boy who saw a video about journaling and he talked to my other boy about it. He's like, "Yo, like Drew's video on journaling inspired me." I truly don't care about having thousands of followers making bread from this. I want just a video to be like a hidden gem to someone, not even in a vain way. I would tell you TikTok and
You want to help people, bro.
yeah, I would tell you TikTok and social media, there's definitely a lot of downfalls and negatives about it. But, bro, some of the faith videos that I've seen probably planted seeds to make me become the man of Christ that I want to become today. One more thing, it's like those videos are like hidden gems. If I did not scroll and past that video, I don't, I like this sounds so crazy. Maybe I wouldn't be the person I am today.
Bro, let me just say something. You're going back to like the faith and whatnot, reflecting on what you're saying right now and the things you've been doing. The most rewarding thing a person can do, regardless of it may seem like when I say it now, is serve. When you can be of service to somebody and help
Mm,
somebody. And the reason I'm talking about faith is because that's what Jesus Christ was, bro. He was a servant to
yeah,
humankind, sacrificing himself just so we can exist freely. You know what I mean? Like being of service to people in the sense of where you can provide something that benefits them that they will remember you for.
that's true fulfillment.
That's the most pure form of fulfillment, bro.
And I'm trying to be more like Christ every single day. Die to my flesh and just try and like I said, be a better man of God. Like that's truly what inspires me. And I love how you brought that up. Like Jesus literally, he was the one, he's the extension, the son of God, and he would wash the disciples' feet. That just puts into perspective. Like, bro, back in biblical times, that's what like the slaves did. Like they'd be washing like their master's feet or whatever you want to call it, whoever's above them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just that example. And then even the greatest example, he literally died for he sacrificed his life, the most gruesome death. If you've never seen The Passions of the Christ, the movie, it's supposed to be very accurate. Like I've always known Christ died for our sins. He died for us. But seeing that even just in a movie, bro, there were times where I didn't want to look because it was so graphic. But I told myself I need to look at this. It's a reminder. It makes me appreciative. I wake up and I say, God died for me and I'm awake today,
Mm.
living in that gratitude. Gratitude is so important. I'll add that on too, bro.
Gratitude. Gratitude, being grateful for what that we've been blessed with, even if you feel like you don't have anything, which unfortunately there are people in the world who are not blessed with certain things that I
Mm,
can say that I'm blessed with. Like I have the ability to come and drive here today.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, Gratitude, being of service, but gratitude are also aligned. Gratitude not only makes you feel like, wow, I do have these things. I'm very grateful. Not only does it make you feel better about your own situation, it attracts more to you. Gratitude is a magnet.
Mm.
Gratitude is a magnet to opportunities, to fulfillment, to love and kindness, bro. Gratitude is the staple to be having a pure, fulfilling life, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to see if we're on the same type of timing with this. What I think of when you say that, it's like a magnet, it attracts. I just made a video about this. I think about your perspective and your mindset on things, going into something negative versus positive. And one example I love to give is if I go into a new room and I'm negative, I'm like, I hate meeting new people. Everyone's so rude, this and that. My brain is only gonna find the evidence of people who are rude to me or people who are assholes. That's just straight up how it's gonna be. But if I go into it saying, "Oh, I'm so positive. I love connecting with new people. I love meeting and talking and learning about people."
That manifests through you.
I my I don't know if we're saying the same thing, different words, but what I'll say is my brain will find evidence for that.
Exactly. That's what that is. So what I mean by that, it manifesting through you is that you're bringing it to fruition by it's so insane.
Mm,
Reality is a total reflection of your mind.
mm,
Like me, I know that this is my purpose. I'm meant to be here having this conversation with you. I'm meant to be throwing these shows, making the music, writing, whatever it is. I'm meant to be doing that because I've programmed myself, deluded myself to not only think but know and believe.
That's so good.
Know and believe that this is where I'm supposed to be alongside of you, right? Like that's purely what you preach about in your videos too. Not even preach, but speak about in your videos. It's
Okay.
all about believe.
hmm
What is it? Um,
You know what I
I don't
think
have
of
my phone.
when we're getting into this conversation? I just want to say, you know what I think of?
Yeah.
Like, and me, this is a good conversation topic that me and Lorenzo talk about all the time, is embodying your identity.
Be not afraid,
Okay.
only believe. Jesus Christ said that to uh he was a leader.
Was it the disciple on water when he was
No,
walking on water?
uh Jairus or something.
I'm not familiar.
Uh I'm pretty sure it's
T-
in Matthew. But
okay, we don't.
pretty much essentially Jesus Christ was talking to, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But be not afraid, only believe. Jesus Christ was talking to this individual whose daughter was sick,
Oh.
and while Jesus was on his way to save his daughter, he was delayed through messages. He had to relay something or whatever
Mm,
it may have been, and his daughter died.
I know this
And
story.
the father was distraught. Imagine that. Your daughter's dead.
Mm.
And Jesus Christ is not like, I'm so sorry. He says, be not afraid, only believe before he rises his daughter, bro.
That might have been the same one where he was like, "Guys, don't worry, she's only sleeping." Like that's literally what he said, and he rose her.
Be not afraid, only believe. Could I give you one thing before you get back into what you were
Yeah,
saying?
let me hear it.
So, do you know who Myron Golden is?
Nah.
Absolute genius. I love his preaching. He's also like a financial, not a guru, but he's just an incredibly intelligent man.
Okay.
Think about I'm writing to you believe. There are three lines saying believe, believe, believe.
Mm.
Okay? Take away, let's say you look at the first believe. Look at it as be live. Look at the second one as believe. And then or believing. So be living, believing, be lying.
Mm.
The life you will be living is what you will be believing unless you will be lying.
Mm.
In saying that, I mean,
Okay.
or what Myron Golden was saying, was that everything that I am telling myself and making into my reality is a lie. It's a lie. You're lying to yourself.
hmm
Unless you are taking the word that God has already spread to you and creating that into your purpose.
Okay. Dive a little deeper into that.
I heard that on the way here.
Yeah, that's
So I
crazy.
unfortunately I
That's
feel
good
like it's
timing.
more so of your own form of interpretation to it.
hmm
But what I took it as is essentially what I was just speaking about. So you will be living the life that you are believing, right?
Yeah.
But you will be lying. In the sense of reprogramming your mind, you will be lying to yourself, right?
Mm.
Unless you are taking the word from God that He's spreading to you, and then it is not you lying, it is truth.
Mm.
And it's not true, it's truth. Truth is different than true.
Okay.
Truth is different than true. True has a chance of it not being true. Truth is
It's
truth
set in
from
stone.
God is set in
Yeah.
stone.
hmm I
Yeah.
see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that comes along the lines of like I always talk about is embodying your identity. And actually, so I'm doing 75 hard right now, and one of my challenges that I made myself was to finish 3 books in the duration of it. First book I already finished. My boy gifted it to me for Christmas,
Great book.
Atomic Habits,
Great
and
book.
it describes it so well. So you kind of think of like a dartboard, and this talks about your identity. It's like a circle, an outer circle, then an even outer circle.
Yep.
The first one, the inner circle, is your identity. The one on the outside of that is the things you do based off that. And then the outer one is like your goals, your complete outcomes. So many people look at it at the
Excuse me.
opposite way. They look at, okay, let's say I'm training for a half marathon. Okay, so wait, hold up. Let me get this straight.
Go ahead.
No, yeah,
Preach,
I'm
bro.
trying to get this straight real quick.
Heard
So,
you.
okay, yeah. So I'm gonna do the half marathon. Wait, wait, am I getting it straight? Okay, here's the way I'll describe it, right? So going into it, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to train for this half marathon, do the half marathon, and then I'm going to become a runner. No,
You are the
it's
runner.
no, I'm Andrew. I'm a runner. Like I have the equipment I need. I get my sleep. I hit my workouts when I don't want to do it. I'm a runner. That's my identity. I'm a runner.
Yep.
So then as a result of that, I do the workouts I need to do, and then the outcome is the half marathon. That's the way I want to describe it. It was
Yes.
messed up in my head.
Perfectly. Yeah, yeah.
But and some people, I'm not gonna lie, could say that sounds the same. Like the outcome is the same. No, it's not. It's like that emotional energy you're using towards it is so much less. I always give this example because as a Christian, a lot of men deal with not watching porn and no fap. They say, oh, like I'm day 90, no fap, day 100, no fap. But the thing is, you're still identifying yourself with someone who watches porn and does that. Every day you're waking up and you're making it you're using that mental energy, that challenge, like I'm the person of fap, so today's day 91 and no fap, and you're battling it. It's like a clash in your head versus no, I'm a man of Christ, my name's Drew. I don't do that stuff, I don't sin. And it's so much more freeing. You're not using that mental energy. You know where I'm
Absolutely,
trying to
bro.
say? So it's
Absolutely. Yeah,
completely
yeah.
it's the same. It can be the same outcome, but you're doing it so much more efficiently.
You know what I'll say? It could be the same outcome. Regardless, you could have ran that marathon, but I believe that you absorbing it or not absorbing it, you making that your identity creates a more likely situation or scenario where you can run that marathon again.
Mm.
Or even something, what comes after a marathon?
There's like Iron Man. There's like
Okay, but you know what
triathlons.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
can even go past that because you
Mm-hmm.
are a runner.
Mm.
You're a runner.
An
It doesn't
athlete, a
matter.
healthy
You're an
individual,
athlete.
whatever you want to call it.
Exactly, bro. It doesn't matter about. You said it perfectly, bro. I'm happy you would like that book. That book helped me out a lot.
It's an awesome book, dude.
Yeah, it's a
I would.
great book. You know, it's another one you should read.
Hmm.
I'll give it to you. I finished it months ago. I think almost a year ago now. It's called Neighbor Love Yourself by Brian Crum. I swear God has their own way of doing things, bro. Like I randomly picked that book up in a thrift store one day.
Wow,
And I read this and it he's a Christian author.
God is
So
good.
he's a Christian man and he pretty much writes his book about what we're talking about, right? Identity, challenging the negative circumstances in your life, whatever, right? I would love for you to just read it.
Mm.
Neighbor Love Yourself by Brian Crum. It's an excellent book, bro.
Bro, it's
Yeah.
crazy how God works His ways, but like I said, you're in that fog sometimes, or you don't know what's going on, and it just like it's like literally a puzzle coming together. It's so amazing. Like you said, you don't know how you picked that up at a random thrift shop, dude.
And it impacted me very.
And
Yeah.
I'll give like a
Yeah.
vague examples. I'll have times where I have something going on in my life. I'll have a conversation with someone or I'll overhear something that completely resonates with what
And
I needed to
answers you.
hear.
Yeah.
That is the Holy Spirit working through that person.
Hmm.
And you know when it is, because like I said, it's usually not even relevant to the conversation, but it's relevant to what's going on in your life. And you just get that feeling. It's amazing.
It's
It's
magical,
awesome.
bro. It's
It's
crazy how life
divine.
works with that.
It's
Exactly.
not human made.
Yeah.
None of this stuff like it's made by a
Exactly.
perfect God. It's divine, dude.
Exactly. Divine.
I like that word.
Divine. Divine.
Um one more we can bounce back to the music a little bit. I want to talk about your most recent album drop and your tour for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that
I
cuz
mean,
I'm being completely honest. I know the bangers on his album, but I never sat like I've sat there and listened to individual song. I never listened to it through. I did
you did
recently,
that the other
and
day,
like I
yeah.
said, bro, it's fire. I was like, bro, this is my best friend. I never listened to that album through. Like, what am I doing? I gotta lock in, and then I locked in.
Yo,
I was
check
like,
him. Check him in the
I've like I said, I
comments.
listened to not all the songs, but I listened to the songs. I just never listened to the album through. But tell me about the tour that you went on for the album. Like, I feel like what I love about you, bro, and I feel like no other I'll say up and coming artist, that's the way I'll put it, would go on tour for their own album. and I'm not saying you're doing it. I'm not saying you're doing it in some sort of vain way. People who are up and coming, I would say like if they were to release an album, they'd just be like post it on their story and they'd be like, "Oh, like listen to my album."
Oh,
Like
that's
up and
interesting.
coming artists.
I see what
I
you're
when I
saying.
think of people going on tour, I think of like J. Cole and Drake. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I don't think of up and coming artists, but that's where it comes to embodying that identity. You know who you are, so you embody that.
The
Your
phone
phone's going
ringing.
off.
It's
But I'm
okay.
saying, like I said, I only think of Drake and J. Cole going on tour, but
Hmm.
you went on tour as an up and coming artist. Like, I never thought of anyone else doing that. And,
That's
like,
interesting, bro.
that's so amazing that you did
Hmm.
that, and that's just such a good example of it. But, like, tell me about that a
Thank you,
little
dude.
bit.
Yeah, no, I gained inspiration from a fellow artist, but I consider a friend. This dude's name is Call Me Misfit. Shout out, bro. Um, he helped give me a little bit of guidance on because I was gonna do it regardless, but I seen that he had done that,
Mm.
and I was like, I think that's cool. I think that's cool, and I think I could do that in my own way. So I set up a plethora of shows that I had lined up, right? And I would just hit people up. People would hit me up to perform and whatnot. So I was like, yo, I have a bunch of shows lined up. I just dropped this tape. I'm going to make my own flyers, make my own content to promote it. And then I did something before that called 22 by 22, which was I posted a single a week to SoundCloud with 5 pieces of content behind it each week.
This dude's a dog.
And then I selected the songs that I found best fit to make like a little mixtape out of, and I threw that on all streaming platforms. So I went on tour for that. I set up shows with Loud Garden Festival with my guy One Day. I had a couple shows at Mad Mind. Shout out Turk in the squad. And then you pulled up to the one in Brooklyn, right?
I pulled up to Brooklyn,
Sour Mouse. That was
and
cool.
then I don't know if Philly
Philly
also.
Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
pulled to
Oh yeah,
Philly
you
too.
did pull up to
Yeah.
Philly Fest.
See, so I was at a few.
Yeah.
We have this ongoing joke, like literally that I wasn't able to make like so many of his shows, and I'm like
It's
one of his
okay, bro.
closest friends. Like it's crazy.
He's the one that be making the joke though. I don't say anything. He's like, bro, I'm an L friend. I like can't come to your
Cause it's so
shows.
funny. Like I would expect myself to be at every single show. And
Nah.
bro, like it was literally coincidentally every time I was like, I literally can't make it.
No, it's okay, bro. Things happen.
Life
You're
gets
a
in the
busy
way,
guy.
dude.
You're a busy guy, bro. But I threw this tour together, um, which I mean in itself, I really just did it. I didn't. It was so easy to be like, yo, that seems too difficult. Like, how am I gonna set up a tour? But it was not. There was no form of overthink. It was just I'm gonna do it.
Cause you're Lorenzo, you're an artist,
Yeah,
bro. You
exactly,
didn't defeat yourself before even going into it.
exactly.
So many people before even stepping into something, they defeat themselves.
Let my man preach real quick.
Bro, you're staying in the
My man
same.
preach real quick.
Let's say you're here, right? And you're overthinking, you're waiting for the most perfect opportunity to step into something. I talk about this too. Bro, there's never going to be that perfect opportunity. You're always going to not get enough sleep the night before. You're always not going to have
Yeah.
like maybe I'm hungry or maybe like this didn't work out this way. Maybe we forgot a camera or a tripod. Like
Oh
forgot my
my
tripod the
God.
last. That's
Why
probably
would you
happened.
say that? Why would you say I've dealt with that way too many
But
times,
here's my
bro.
point, right? You could easily go, okay, you
Excuse me.
know what? I'm gonna do this another time and wait for it to be the perfect opportunity. You're staying in that same place versus stepping into that next thing. And if it works out, cool, great. It worked out. If not, the worst that can happen is you're just back in the same place. But
I even
you also learn from that as well. So when you step into it again, you might even
exactly.
and you start building up that
Exactly.
momentum. It's like that mindset where no matter every time I say something is negative or positive, I'm gonna stop yapping in a second.
No,
Every
no.
time I say something is negative or positive, I didn't do it this time. I always put up quotation marks in my hand because nothing is truly negative or positive. I would say you can interpret it as that, which is fine, but in a healthy way, everything is a stepping stone to your success. Everything is growth, no matter negative or positive.
Exactly. I Going on to that, I think that even when you believe that you failed, bro, one, if you believe in failure, failure is definitely a real thing, right?
Mm,
In order to succeed, you need to fail. That's a total learning experience. But let's say, like you said, even I messed up. I gained knowledge that I didn't have prior. I won. I won. But
So good.
with the tour, I set that up just like I'm gonna do it. You feel me? I'm gonna just do it. I got people with me who are trying to come to the shows. Cool, kosher, we're doing it. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw a show. Or actually, I threw a show before the tour. I threw
Okay.
my first show before the tour, and I was like, you know what? I'm definitely gonna do this. That's the main catalyst that inspired me
Catalyst. That's a good
to
word.
to to throw the tour for sure. And then at the end of the tour, I threw another show called The Last Stop, which was cool. It was really personal, bro. It was dope. I One thing I like to do is I like to throw shows at interesting venues. Cause I'll go to performances and it's beautiful music, it's a beautiful venue, but I'm the type of person I'm gonna go outside and do my crossword puzzle. You feel me? Like I'm gonna go outside and get air because it's mad overstimulating in there.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of there. Bro, I threw my first show I threw at an arcade I grew up at. I
That's
threw my second
insane.
show at a thrift store in Asbury Park. The third show was just lit. Like we threw it, me, Misfit, my boy Dunn, my boy Shug, threw a show in Union County or Union City, excuse me. That was super cool. And I've just been throwing shows. And then the War exhibit, if you were there, you weren't there unfortunately, but
Nah,
that was an extremely special night, and y'all are gonna see why in the future.
word.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
I wanna bounce back to what you were saying before, and I was actually gonna ask you about this. So you were talking about failure, right? You were saying, oh, you were talking about it, but I want you to describe like what is failure to you? Because people look at failure in different ways. Like, what is your definition? What would be considered failing to you? Do you really believe in true failure?
Hmm. That's a good question. So I'm human. Things change with in the moment sometimes how you feel, right?
Mm.
But in the grand scheme of things right now as I'm talking to you, bro, I believe failure, like I never say that I failed. I never say that because that puts a negative connotation on what I set up to do.
Hmm.
And the originality or the original point of me doing something was just to do it. If I fail while doing something, I still did it, bro. And I'm not only succeeding in the sense of I did it, that's what matters. I'm gaining so much more experience and knowledge than of me not doing it. I've been around failures, right? And that might sound negative in the sense, right? I'm aware of that. I feel like everybody has been a failure in their life. Everybody. Everybody
Okay.
has failed, right? It
Mm-hmm.
could be a sport thing, it could be a job thing, it could be alcoholism, it could be drug addiction. You know what I mean? Like I've been around people even unfortunately that I've been like really close to, and it's like you can fall into that trap or you can see it and see what you don't want to become. And I don't even
Yes.
consider that. The main thing is, let me bounce back.
Mm.
I don't believe that those people are failures. That's a very bad way to look at it. I feel like those people are learning and going through something that, for whatever reason, needs to happen for them to learn from it.
Mm.
But it's everybody's choice to learn from it. God puts our own tests and our own tests in front of us, but it's our choice to make the right decision. The right decision depends on who you are morally, who you are spiritually.
It's our free will.
Exactly. It's a human free will thing, bro. But failure to me in itself is not real.
Yeah.
I'm at a point now, bro. I just don't care.
I just want to add one thing. It's not real, but I
Yeah.
would say failure is just giving up.
Now, when you say failure is giving up, right? Failure is failure giving up because you give up, or is failure giving up because you failed? Because to me, if you give
But
up,
there's no such thing as failure. You can't have a connotation on failure. So if you give up because you failed, that's not real. That's made up. That's in your mind. You haven't failed. Like you said, you learn from things. Failure isn't real.
failure is even subjective, bro.
Mm.
The fact, let's say I put together a show. Pardon me, by the way, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No,
I don't mean to
you
interject.
were no.
Failure is a subjective concept. My failure could be somebody else's success,
Yeah.
bro. top tier success.
Mhm.
I threw a show, let's say, an analogy base, and it went terrible, right? I still threw a show. To another individual that's an aspiring artist, is like, bro, you threw a show. I would
Yeah.
kill to be you.
Mm.
A person like you could be like, damn, like, I'm not really getting love on the post right now, right? Even though I know you said that doesn't really matter, right? But in this analogy,
No, it does. It doesn't matter realistically, but I'm human, bro. Sometimes I'll feel
absolutely,
that, dude.
absolutely,
I
and
want
I'm
to get
with you.
feedback.
I'm with you. But somebody who's an aspiring content creator and fitness character, I guess you could say.
You know what I want to call it?
Yeah,
Inspiring content creator and life coach.
life coach.
That's what I want to say.
Dope, really dope. Um would kill to be doing what you're doing. A lot of people don't have the confidence to get up in front of a camera
Mm.
and go and talk to, even if it's just me. But you go ahead and you have a conversation with the camera.
Yeah.
And I'm you know what I mean? Like, bro, failure is subjective. Being a bad artist or a bad content creator is subjective. These things don't matter. People are going to say whatever they want regardless. You
Yeah.
might as well just do what the heck do
Yeah.
what the hell you want to do, because it's like, regardless, somebody's going to say something, but as long as I made the decision that I want to make, what's 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 the better outcome?
Yeah, bro, and screw them. Respectfully, like
Word up.
that's my mindset. Like, if someone doesn't accept,
Level up with Drew, man.
if someone doesn't accept you for you, like my mindset is that they're missing out, and that's not in a vain way. Like this, we talked about this before. You accept yourself for who you are. If someone doesn't accept you for you, that person is missing out. I promise you. No matter how imperfect, how many wrong things you think you have with you, you're a dope person because you're uniquely yourself.
I agree, bro.
And it's just like, and one of the things about that, I'm having a brain fart about that content thing we were talking about. I'm high key having a brain fart.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah. So I could easily be. Sorry, guys. Got like 6 hours of sleep. I gotta lock in.
Sorry, guys.
No,
You good, bro?
I could easily say like I could have gave it up on my content today. Like I only have 200 followers in 6 months. I'm getting 20 likes a post. There's so many people who just are stuck in that mindset. Like it's just so anal and it's only outcome based and not
Mm-hmm.
income. It's not the internal based. But the way I'm thinking of it is like you
Exactly,
said,
bro.
I'm an aspiring content creator and life coach.
You
So
are, though.
but yeah, I am, and
Exactly.
we'll talk about I am as well.
Cool.
I am that. So I always say this and it sounds confusing. I am what I'm becoming. So I'm
Exactly, bro.
becoming that thing, but I'm also that thing at the same time because I'm doing the things that that person does. That's why when I think of that, I don't look at the number of my followers and be like, okay, I'm just not going to post because I have no followers to see. No, I think of myself, I am that life coach. I am that content creator. So I'm going to post 3 times a day. And with that identity thing, it's so always give an example of like a diet or getting drunk. With the identity thing, if I'm not stepped into healthy Andrew and that's who I am, I could easily say, yo, I'm just gonna have a whole pizza pie. I'm just gonna have a whole Domino's pizza and then get hammered tonight and hook up with a girl. And
Mm-hmm.
like it's not gonna matter. Tomorrow I could just lock back into the gym. But like, bro, the identity of Drew, he just doesn't do those things. And in your head you realize how much these daily things that you do, even if they seem so minuscule, add up to becoming that person.
Yo,
When I am that person, even though
absolutely,
I am
bro.
that person,
Absolutely.
when I have, hopefully I have clients that I would love to help as a life coach. These days where I'm at Rowan, a sophomore, posting 3 times a day, getting a lifting, getting my sleep, that's gonna matter towards that, all those tiny little it's not like it's just gonna be like one day maybe I can goof off and then in a year one day I'll just blow up randomly. Like no, it was those little behind the scenes things.
Absolutely, bro. Yo, two things. One, I connect with what you just said wholeheartedly. Two, I don't know if you read this in the Atomic Habits, but progress sometimes is not noticeable, but it's notable.
Mm.
Progress is like compound interest. If you do something like play the keyboard for 10 minutes a day, you may think, yo, I'm trash. I am not
Yeah.
getting better. Like, what's going on? But, yo, give it a year. And even if you can't notice it because you've been doing it every day, 10 minutes, right? Maybe you can't notice that you've been getting better,
Mhm.
but I promise you that it's notable. That you can tell, yo, back then I wasn't even able to play a full scale
Mhm.
like properly. Like I don't even play the keyboard,
Yeah.
right? I'm trying to learn that now.
Yeah.
But now I can do this. Okay, so it
Now I
is
can
it
play a
is somewhat
song.
happening, right? Progress is compound interest to its whole. That's my main goal in life, bro, is progress. But you said it perfectly. Like doing the things now in the present time, regardless if they suck or not, will ultimately help the person that you are trying to become. And that's the thing, we are always becoming who it is that we even are.
But it's
Like
a feedback loop
it
because you are
is.
that person.
Exactly. Exactly, bro. But the only way in order to keep becoming that person is by knowing you're that person.
Mhm.
You're just at this stage of your life in that from that persona, if that makes sense. Or not
Mhm.
persona, but that individual, that
It's like
end
an
goal.
evolution of a Pokemon. It's like that's what I think
Charizard,
of.
bro.
Like
Right now we're
Charizard.
Charmander,
Right now we're
son. Right
Charmanders,
now we're
yeah.
Charmander,
When I got
son.
my clients and like a good amount of followers and I'm able to actually make a living off something, that's when I'm Charizard. But being
Yes, bro.
Charmander is dope too.
You know what? You know what I heard too from Tony Robbins. You know who Tony Robbins is?
I've heard his
He's
name.
a life coach as well. Tony Robbins said that from 0 to 20, mid 20s, right? That is the section of your life, or like late 20s. That is the section of your life where it's time to earn.
Mm,
Now,
mhm.
from your early 40s, or no, pardon me, I
30s.
completely flipped it up.
Okay.
0 to your late 20s is where you learn. That's where you learn. Your zeros to your late 20s
Mm,
is when you learn. And then your early 30s to like your 40s, 50s is where you earn. And then your 60s to whenever you die is when you return. It's all talking about in the sense of evolution.
mm.
That's where the gratitude comes into it, bro. Because when you have that gratitude and that fulfillment and that wealth, not even in a financial aspect, definitely financially, that's a goal as well, of
Mm.
course. But I mean wealth in happiness and having a beautiful wife that you
Health.
love, being a healthy man,
Mm.
having a wonderful family.
That's
You
real
can
wealth.
then that's my point, bro. That is an unmeasurable amount of wealth that you anybody can have. But when you have all of that, when you have all these things, you're like, yo, my life is good. Like, obviously, I'm gonna strive to have my life be the best thing it could be, or best version of it could be.
Mm,
But I want to return to somebody who, when at my age, right, like my age now, let's say,
mhm.
I can help them on their journey, or I can help somebody who doesn't have a food on their table on Thanksgiving. I can go run a food drive. I can do something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's all
because
about returning, because when you also return, you attract. When you return, or when you return to people and the world and the universe in itself, you also attract. It's all a magnet.
yeah.
It's all a magnet.
And I would just say you can put when you're older, when you're at that
Yeah.
wise age, you could put yourself on their shoes. You're like, I enjoyed Thanksgiving so much with my family.
Yes.
The fact that they can't enjoy this because they don't have enough money to have dinner,
It's
like I want
terrible,
to help
bro.
them. I want that. I have joy in them having joy.
Yes.
And that's goes back to what we said before. The most fulfilling thing you could do is to serve other people. And a lot of the things that we talked about on today's, I screw calling it a podcast conversation, is a lot about us, like content, half marathon, music, who you are, Lorenzo as a whole. A lot of it sounds like sounds selfish, but what I'll say is where's that tattoo? Bro, I'm no. What I'll say
Bro.
was no. What I'll
Go
say is
ahead.
like none of that stuff matters. Like that's what I'm trying to say is none of that. It talks about in Ecclesiastes like all this in the book of Ecclesiastes, my favorite book in the Bible. All of it is vanity. None of that stuff matters. What matters is being with your family, living through Christ, enjoying your food and water on the table, dude. That's what truly matters. The simple pleasures in life.
Yeah, bro.
Because no matter rich, no matter wealthy or broke, no matter wise or a fool, we're all going to end up in the grave.
Amen.
So nothing matters. Nothing matters is a sounds negative, but it's a good thing.
No, it's so liberating, bro.
Hmm.
That's the thing. There's just I feel like I mean, it's not even I feel like I know we're in a generation where we are programmed and systematically put in a situation where we're coddled and babied and everybody is super soft and skittish and pretty negative to a certain degree,
I just
especially
want to
with the
tell you,
phone.
I just want
Yeah.
to say something. Like I think of like that mouth breather in the corner who doesn't want to speak up.
Sad though,
That's what my
bro.
boy Arthur says. Shout out to him and his community. But he always talks about like, don't be that mouth breather in the corner. That's I can't speak up. Like continue. But that's what I think of
But
when you
no,
say
no,
that.
and that's my point though. A lot of these people that are these mouth breathers, right,
Yeah.
have been created and structured that way and programmed that way, bro. And nobody's a lost cause. Nobody's a lost cause. But it's just a shame, bro. We live in a time where it's so hard for people to step out of their comfort zone and do exactly what it is that they want to do because we think that this is what's going to define us as an individual in the sense of what do people think about me, bro? You know what I mean? It's a shame. We're all human. Everybody gets judged. Everybody feels. Everybody deals with pain 100%. But I spiraled off too. I kind of forgot where I was going with
Bro, it's
that.
all good, bro. We're having a long conversation. That's all good. Like we said, I just want to we'll kind of start to wrap it up here. And a thing that I want to take home is that like if you got something on your mind and you're being passive, dude, you're doing God and yourself a disservice, dude. And that's not me being hard on you. Like if you have something on your mind, put all your eggs in that basket. Put it out there, not to boast, not to say I'm going to do something and not do it. Put it
Mhm.
out there so you do it. Like we said, don't be that mouth breather, that person. Like I think about imagine going up on when I'm being judged by Christ and he says, "You could have been all this. You could have been so great, but you ended up being passive and taking an easy route." I think of that and that scares me, dude.
A driving factor, bro, in everyday life. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I kind of like used to be that way. I would be like, I might as well be the easy way. Like I'm going to school, like maybe I could just become a physical therapist and like do something that like I kind of enjoy and like I don't know, like it would be all right. I'll just flow through with life. But like no, dude, what's the point of that, dude?
Mm.
You got to just step out of that comfort zone. That's what I say. And no matter what, if it goes good or bad, like I said, you're going to learn from it and you're going to grow and it's just you got to adopt that mindset.
Also, adding to that, bro, stepping out of your comfort zone and doing what you want to do will inspire the people around you.
Oh yeah.
It will inspire the people around you. You stepping out of your comfort zone and doing whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that is your reality, your purpose, that you believe is your purpose, as long as it's healthy to you individually and the people around you, right? I promise you can inspire somebody else you love or maybe even don't love and maybe have a negative relationship with. You can inspire that person to step out of their comfort zone.
Mm. Yeah,
Do it.
the
Do it.
last thing I want to say is just like all it takes is a perspective change. You don't got to change all these different things in your life. You don't got to go to Whole Foods and spend $300 on your groceries this week, get an expensive gym
That's
membership.
him. That's him.
Nah, but you don't got to get an expensive gym membership and stick to the most optimal sleep and morning routine, dude. Sometimes all it takes is a perspective shift. All you got to do is change your mindset, and that's a positive mindset and just have that faith in Christ that he did all that for us. We're doing him a disservice by not going out and doing what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Me not becoming the man of Christ that I'm going to become. So that's the way I want to close out. Do you have anything
Mm-hmm.
else other to plug?
No,
Add on to that,
no, bro. This is a beautiful conversation, man. It's good to see you again, bro.
Lorenzo. I appreciate you, dog, bro. I love you, bro.
Love you
And
too,
say that
bro.
to your friends too. Some people think that's so weird.
That's okay. People, you know what I mean? Some people grow up in different cultures where that's not really like, hey, I'm an affectionate guy, bro. My dog. Love you, bro. Just
That's a
how it
wrap,
is, bro.
folks. I love you guys, and God bless you
God
guys.
bless y'all, man. Have a good day.